ends in November 2018. We meet Kevin, the story's main character, who works as a driver. Like Rose, his day is quite ordinary. He previously worked as a school bus driver, earning a meager salary. Surviving was a challenge for him. Kevin lives with his mother and son, who ignores him. He urges his son to attend school, but he refuses to listen. Kevin feels lost regarding how to handle his son. He also has a dog which he discovers is sick. He takes the dog to the vet. He believes that when troubles arise, they come from all directions. Despite being in a tough spot, he remains resilient. The next day, he returns to school, where he loads the children onto the bus and departs. This takes place in Paradise, California, known for its dry and hot climate. We see electric poles on the mountains. A short circuit occurs in a power line, causing sparks to fall onto the dry grass. Due to the arid conditions, the grass ignites. The fire spreads rapidly toward the nearby forest, where the entire city of Paradise is located. The residents are unaware of the impending danger. After dropping the children off at school, Kevin needs to take his bus to the garage for repairs. By this time, the fire has significantly spread in the forest. Some police officers notice the flames and promptly alert the fire department. The fire brigade arrives, but they realize the fire is on the mountain, making access challenging. Nevertheless, they remain determined and attempt to reach the mountain via an alternate route. Unfortunately, some workers become trapped in the blaze. We also see Kevin, who was taking the school bus to the garage. He had no information about the fire yet. His mother calls from home, saying that her son is vomiting and needs to go to the hospital. Kevin reassures her, stating there's no need to worry, as he is coming from a medical store with medicines. He skips the garage and heads straight to the medical store to save his son's life. Now, the smoke is clearly visible from within the city. They discover that the wind is blowing towards them, indicating the fire will reach the city soon. Police officers gather to investigate how the fire started. While fires in American jungles are common, this one spreading so quickly is unusual. Some small fires can be controlled immediately, but this one remains unchecked. The police learn that power lines are present in the area. When sparks ignited, the strong wind prevented the electricity from being cut off, causing the fire. Soon, personnel from the electricity department arrive. The fire brigade expresses their anger, stating they should have turned off the electricity given the wind conditions. After discussions, the department shuts off all electricity, aware that more incidents could occur. Then, an FBI officer informs the fire brigade that he is trapped in the fire. However, he sees houses on fire that need assistance, so he helps those in need. This was the house built near the jungle. That's why he put some people in his car, saving their lives and taking them away from here. Now, the fire brigade discovers that this fire has been burning for quite some time. The smoke is spreading extensively. It has consumed at least 5 kilometers of area. Kevin receives a call from his boss. She instructs him to bring the repaired bus from the garage as soon as possible since the children will be leaving early today. However, Kevin did not take his bus into the garage. He was on his way home with medicines. The fire brigade vehicles couldn't reach far, so small helicopters and boats were deployed. These boats fill with water and drop it over the jungle to help control the fire. But managing such a fierce blaze was extremely challenging. The fire continued to grow. Thus, they requested more helicopters to extinguish the flames, as land efforts were ineffective. While an FBI officer was rescuing people and exiting the jungle, the fire surrounded him. He realized he couldn't escape, so he directed everyone into the pond to save their lives. Kevin also learns about the raging fire in the jungle and sees fire brigade vehicles heading that way. He speaks to his son, assuring him that he will reach soon and instructs him to stay inside the house, no matter what. The smoke was pervasive. All the children were in school, witnessing smoke billowing from the windows. They realized there was a fire nearby. Mary, a teacher, gathered all the children and instructed them to sit down. Many parents arrived at the school to pick up their children, fearing they might get lost. However, several parents were still unable to reach their kids. There were 22 children in total. Kevin receives a call from his wife. He learns that he is not living with her. His wife also discovers that something has happened to their son. She tells Kevin that he doesn't need to go to their son. She will pick him up from his house. Inside the school, a staff member informs all drivers that any empty buses should come to the school to take the children home. There are still 22 children waiting as their parents couldn't arrive. but no bus drivers respond. Only Kevin has come to the school, so he replies that he will be there soon to help the children. Kevin quickly drives his bus to the school to rescue the kids and take them to a safe place in Chico. He arrives at the school and loads all the children onto his bus. Mary, the teacher, instructs Kevin to take the children to Chico, where it's safe. Kevin responds that he can't do it alone and needs someone to accompany him. Mary agrees to go with him, so she joins the children on the bus, and they leave together. The children are seated comfortably. Meanwhile, the police and fire brigade are busy battling the fire, growing increasingly tense as it spreads. Kevin's bus gets caught in a traffic jam, a long one, as everyone tries to escape. As they wait, it gets dark, and Kevin realizes there's no way out. Somehow, he manages to have Mary sit down and states he will attempt to clear the path. Now, you can gradually reverse the bus. Mary follows suit. Kevin begins to clear the cars in front, explaining that he has children and requests to let them pass. A few people move aside. After much effort, Kevin's bus finally escapes the area. This allows Kevin to advance the bus further. He notices a significant fire ahead. All the houses are ablaze. Mary insists they shouldn't linger here. They need to take the children to the designated location. Kevin proceeds onward. Flames surrounded the bus, and smoke darkened the area. The heat frightened all the children. Yet Mary was doing her best to care for them. At a campsite named Chico, some tents had been erected. Injured individuals were arriving there. All buses were instructed to come here, but Kevin's bus had not yet arrived. This caused great concern among the parents of the children on board. Visibility was poor as Kevin drove, but he kept maneuvering the bus skillfully. The children were sweating and pleading for water. However, finding water nearby was challenging. Thus, Kevin halted the bus in a spot with less fire. Mary volunteered to check nearby houses for water. She went to a house close to the fuel station and began gathering water bottles. Suddenly, an explosion occurred at the fuel station, and Mary screamed. Nevertheless, she managed to secure water for the children. Their thirst was finally quenched. The fire had intensified further. Kevin continued driving the bus, uncertain of the road ahead. Only darkness was visible in the distance. All the parents assured Kevin the children on the bus are being driven by a capable driver named Kevin. A teacher named Mary is also accompanying the children on the bus. These two will ensure the children's safe arrival. Just trust me. Let the police and others handle the situation. As Kevin moved forward, he noticed people running. They warned Kevin not to proceed with the bus as the path was blocked. They urged him to run on foot. However, Kevin has 22 children to care for. He cannot abandon them to run away. So he instructs Mary to stay on the bus. He attempts to find a way out. When he checks the other side, he realizes there is no escape. Fire surrounds them completely. There is fire both ahead and behind. Thus, he decides to halt the bus for a while. They must wait until the fire subsides or the wind calms down. The children were all crying. Mary was trying to soothe them. He tells Mary he has a plan. He asks her to tear his t-shirt and cover the children's faces to prevent inhaling toxic gas. She follows his instructions. Kevin tears his t-shirt into small pieces. He soaks them in water and hands them to the children to cover their noses for protection. The police are now responding as well. They realize that this massive fire is uncontrollable. The fire has spread over a vast area, not just a small one. Cannot be extinguished by helicopters, jets, or fire trucks. Therefore, they conclude that they must focus on one thing. The goal is to save lives. The senior fire brigade officials assure the media that there is no need for concern. All individuals, including children, trapped in the fire will be rescued safely. Meanwhile, Kevin and Mary converse, sharing their fears, sensing it might be their final moments. However, they soon notice the fire has come alarmingly close. Kevin quickly exits the bus to combat the flames surrounding him. But the strong winds hinder his efforts to extinguish the fire. Realizing help won't arrive, Kevin returns to the bus, determined to drive it forward regardless of the danger. Initially, the bus won't start, but Kevin persists. After numerous attempts, the bus finally roars to life, and he maneuvers it through the flames. This was a perilous task. If a burning tree fell on the bus or it ignited, saving the children would be impossible. They had secured the windows and doors, preventing smoke from entering, and although visibility was poor, Kevin pressed on. After considerable effort, he reaches a safe area untouched by the fire. From there, he drives the bus to the designated location. The parents, initially distraught, light up upon seeing the bus, knowing their children are safe. This brings joy to all the parents as they embrace their children. They express their gratitude to Mary and Kevin for risking their lives to ensure the children's safety. Now Kevin needed to locate his family as well. He enters the camp and spots his mother. Overjoyed to see her, he asks, "Where is my son?" His mother replies that his wife took their son with her. The scene shifts to a few days after the fire incident, when the flames were finally put out. However, the fire had left its scars. Kevin approaches his charred home and gazes at the family photos. He feels sorrowful that everyone's homes were reduced to ashes alongside his own. Then a car arrives, catching Kevin's attention. From it, his wife and son emerge. They reunite, relieved that both father and son are safe. Their happiness is palpable. Kevin's wife acknowledges her mistake, and they choose to reunite. They faced numerous challenges due to the disaster, which made them appreciate the value of family and the joy of being together.